For Georgia Now News, I'm Jenna Eason. Rick Jackson and U.S. Representative Mike Collins won their respective runoff elections Tuesday to make it to the general election in November. Jackson, a billionaire healthcare executive, won the Republican runoff for Georgia governor, defeating Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. Jackson entered the race in February and pledged up to $50 million of his own money to the campaign. He spent more than any other candidate in the race. Jackson received some high-profile endorsements, including from Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr after he lost the May primary, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Jones received endorsements from President Donald Trump and a last-minute endorsement from Governor Brian Kemp. In his victory speech, Jackson said as governor, he would focus on key issues concerning Georgians.
Governor, I will treat affordability like a crisis because for too many families, it already is one. We'll make housing easier to build. We'll cut unnecessary regulations that drive up prices. We'll support small businesses and local employers. And we will make sure Georgia remains a place where a young family can buy a home.
Jackson will be facing Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms, who was the former mayor of Atlanta, in the general election in November.
Violence surged, families were afraid, businesses worried, and police officers needed support. Keisha Lance Bottoms turned her back on all of them. Keisha Lance Bottoms failed.
Collins defeated Derek Dooley in Tuesday's Republican runoff election for U.S. Senate. Collins received a last-minute endorsement from Trump leading up to the election, while Dooley, a former football coach at the University of Tennessee, was backed by Kemp throughout the race. Collins has represented Georgia's 10th congressional district since 2023, and GPB News reports that he spoke to supporters at a barn in Jackson after his victory was announced.
My plan as your next U.S. Senator, it's simple. I'm just going to use my business experience out there to build on the record of results that I've already delivered in Washington.
Collins will face U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff in the November election. Georgia State House lawmakers say they will hold off on redrawing Georgia's legislative maps during the special legislative session Wednesday. House Speaker John Burns and other Republican leaders said in a letter to Governor Brian Kemp that they will spend the session discussing tax relief and ratifying the state's gas tax suspension. The letter said redistricting usually takes a considerable amount of time and public input, and argued that it deserves the same slow approach as every other policy. The House leaders also pointed out that several court cases involving Georgia's current and previous maps are ongoing and could be impacted by the Supreme Court's ruling. Kemp called the special session in May shortly after the U.S. Supreme Court issued a ruling that essentially gutted the Voting Rights Act. Kemp said the ruling meant Georgia would need new electoral maps before the 2028 presidential election. Kemp responded to the letter by saying that Georgia's current maps are now unconstitutional due to the ruling, but would leave the decision to change the maps in the hands of the General Assembly. The city of Mableton's agreement with Cobb County for police services has expired, and the city's mayor has come up with a plan that has received some pushback from residents. Mayor Michael Owen says he wants to create a special service district that would allocate taxpayer funds to public safety, a change that would cost $21 million annually.
What you're going to get for the first time ever in the city of Mableton and South Cobb is a dedicated, united public safety entity that is dedicated to the people and the residents of Mableton.
After many residents expressed their concerns about the plans at a town hall meeting, Owen says he wants to move forward with the plan.
Just understanding when you get together constituencies from across different districts, different age groups, different backgrounds, they're going to have different ideas about how a city has to work.
For the time being, Cobb County will still provide police services to the city until a solution can be found. Tropical Storm Arthur is the first named storm of this year's hurricane season, and Georgia can expect heavy rains leading into the weekend due to its aftermath. Although the storm has mainly hit Texas, the storm is expected to bring strong to severe wind gusts along with a low tornado risk. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch that will start at 8 this morning and continue through Saturday at 2 a.m. The Weather Service urges residents to use caution and avoid driving through water-covered roadways. That's what's happening in Georgia now. For news anytime, check out our website at heargeorgianow.com. You can also download our app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And to stay up to date on our content across all our platforms, follow us on Instagram at Hear Georgia Now and Facebook at Georgia Now. I'm Jenna Eason.